Hey, what's going on, everybody? Well, I've got this set up as a test. We just got in our small little LED puck lights, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to check to make sure that this Milwaukee dozer hole saw bit will actually be big enough to drill a hole for these lights. So I'm just going to take a piece of our shiplap and I'm going to drill right into it. By the way, I'm going backwards here, just in case you guys were wondering. I was going backwards because I've heard that gives you a cleaner cut. It keeps the drill from doing this kind of thing and grabbing and yanking and stuff like that. So, as you can see, that's a pretty clean cut right there. Let's see if it'll accommodate this. I don't think it will. Perfect. So yeah, that's a super tight fit. Not sure that these are made to go into 1/2 inch wood, but it certainly does hold well, so that's good. All right, well, test complete. We'll catch you guys later. We're going to do a little bit of electrical work today. I got puck lights in and some 14 gauge wiring, and what I've got to do is kind of overcome a pretty big obstacle here, I think. I don't know, we'll see how it turns out. Stupid me, when I put the ceiling in the bathroom, I didn't think to run wires, so I've got to go drill some holes for our puck lights and then try to fish some wires through the wall. So I'll just show you a few of the materials I'm going to use here. As you probably previously saw, I did a test on this shiplap to see how the lights are going to fit, and they fit really awesome. So we know that works. Got my 14 gauge wire. This is just tinned wire, and it's got a silicone coating on it to make it really flexible. Got my puck lights. This right here is going to be, I think, crucial in this job. I just bought a little, $15 wire pulling kit, so we'll see how well this works, but I'm going to need to get up there and pull these wires through somehow. But the first step is to mark where the lights are going to go and try to avoid hitting any of the wood girders that I put up in the ceiling to hold the shiplap up. Right, so we're going to go back there and mark everything out and then drill some holes, and hopefully this works out. So, all right, we'll see in a second. 11.5. Oh God, it's going to be so close. May work. Then again, it may not. Ooh-wee. Hole number 1. Now let's get to this one. There's that. Now the challenge is going to be fishing that wire through there. So basically this thing just comes with a bunch of little fittings and stuff with it. I don't exactly know how to use them all, but I'm just going to stick this through. Once I get this through there, then I can attach whatever wire I need and then pull it, hopefully. Ha-ha! Okay. Now we're cooking with Crisco. We're going to take our little flexible thingadoogie here, put it in. Aha! Ha 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 ha! Woo! All right. Now it's time to shine, baby. All right, so now I've got a knot tied here in my wire, and I'm going to attempt to pull it through. All right, let's see if this one works. Oh, yeah. Yes, mama. So then it gets clipped. Such a tight fit, I didn't think those boxes were going to go up in there, those little electrical boxes. There we go. Okay. All right. Now we got negative. And positive. We'll try to pull both of these at the same time. Oh, yeah, and they're through. Okay, beautiful. That one gets cut. And this one gets stripped. This one gets stripped. Here's the little boxes I'm using, made by a company called Wago. And you just pull the little clips out, and we'll connect the positives together, just like that. Positive. All right, time to put the second light in. There. All right. And now we get to test them to see if they work. But I'm just going to test this with a little simple battery. There it is. Oh. Oh. I've got these little cable clips that I'm going to use to secure this conduit. Really made for PEX, but it'll work for this for sure. Negative. And all I'm doing, guys, is I'm just creating a loop. Okay, let me try to explain this a little bit better, and I can do this by actually drawing it out for you. All right. Drawing the bus here. So what I've actually done is I've started here, put a light here, and a light here. These two lights get connected, positive to positive, negative to negative. Then it came positive, and the negative came through this wall, came to the center of the bus here, connected into a light, positive and negative. Then positive and negative connects to that light, connects to that light, connects to that light, connects to this light, positive and negative. So there's actually 7 lights here. This is zone 2. Underneath the bed, I've got a DC fuse panel and a regular 100 amp hour lead acid battery. This is going to be the end of the run, so I'll run my positive and my negative behind the wall and into a switch. This will be the output. And then from the switch, we'll go positive and negative. And that's going to go into the DC fuse box, positive and negative. And then from the DC fuse box, positive and negative will go into the battery. So string of lights, positive to positive, negative to negative, all the way around. They go, in my case, through the top of this wall, behind a wall, and then into the switch, and then from the switch goes positive and negative into the fuse box. All right, and then this is zone 3, and it's the same thing. I've got 3 lights. 1, 2, 3. Started here, positive to positive to positive, negative to negative to negative, and then that positive and negative runs back into another switch, and it goes into the output section, and then from the input section goes into another section of the fuse box. And then what will happen is on every hat channel, I'll actually have 2 sets of, or 2 puck lights. So this is 10. I probably have 10 or 12. My switch will be here. Going to the output section will be a positive and a negative, and then these will get connected positive to positive, negative to negative. Over here will be a positive and a negative that will run to the fuse box. So input comes in from the fuse box, goes into the switch. Output goes from the switch to the lights. These are what we're using as our light switches. These are LED light dimmers, and we'll have about 3 of them in the bus. I'm gonna make some marks here where I'm gonna cut this. Yep. Beautiful. Okay. So I pulled those through that hole and then through here. Now I'm going to feed them back through here. Now the idea is I just need to connect these wires with these wires, which is very simple. With these little connectors, it makes it extremely simple because these have just these little flip up clamps. And in this case, I only need to connect one wire to one wire. These do have a place where you can connect one wire to one wire and then run another wire off of it, which is what I will do later on. But that just goes right in there. That clamps down. See, that's very tight. Same thing with this one. This one goes in the other side, clamps down, very tight. All right, so the way these light switches work is you just have some screw terminals right here. You stick the wire in the back here and then screw the screw terminals down. And you've got an input, positive, negative, and an output, positive and negative. Your input is going to be the electricity coming in from your house batteries or your lithium batteries, whatever. And then the power out will go out to your lights. I know that this top row right here is the end of our light string for zone 2. And so I'm going to measure down and around. Okay, so I'm using these switches right here that are just dimmers. And I've got 14 gauge wire that's going to my puck lights that I've installed. And I had kind of an issue because this wire, you know, is pretty, I wouldn't say brittle, but it's pretty soft. You know, it's tin copper. But when you go to stick it in these little holes, I mean, you can see what it does. It just kind of smashes. And when you put two next to each other, I'm afraid that they're going to touch and ground out. But I just got in something I believe going to turn out to be one of my favorite tools here. You guys can see these little ferrules right here. This is the blues for 14 gauge. So I kind of show you how they work in case this might be important for somebody. So I just snipped off, you know, the wire and on this one, and I'm just gonna make sure it's wound tight. I just slide this ferrule on. And it just goes right on like that. Then I take this handy little ferrule tool, stick it over the end right there, smash it down. And now that thing is super duper tight. It's in there. And now I'm just going to take me a piece of this shrink tubing that's got glue in it, and I'll use my high-tech automatic heat gun. And there you go. So I've got a shrink wrapped ferrule, and so I'm going to take, and on the output, slide these, push those ferrules right in there, and I'll just tighten them down. We're going to put a light here, a light in the middle, and then a light here. So I found some little scrap pieces of wire, which are good. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this fuse box right here. And basically I'm just going to take and run positive to positive, negative, negative on the battery. Yeah, I've just got a 6-gauge welding cable here, positive and negative, and I'm going to cut them the exact same length. It's got a nice good crimp on it. We got lights. Got lights. Got lights. And we got lights. So we got plenty of light back here in the back. And we got max air fan number 1. Max air fan number 2. all hooked up. So super stoked to have lights back here. Then tomorrow, I'm actually gonna take these and I'll mount these boxes. Then we'll get mounted.